Hey, what's up guys, Benny here and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be showing you all the classic weapons that you can get your hands on in Black Ops 4 Blackout, because it's been something when they've popped up in videos that a lot of people aren't aware is actually in Blackout. A load of weapons from previous Call of Duties, which is pretty awesome when you manage to find one in a crate or mystery box. I've had an absolute blast using them, but anyway, let's get into the video. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about all the classic weapons you can currently get in Black Ops 4 Blackout, along with how you can get your hands on them, as well as how to get them more often, and we'll also speculate about what other classic weapons could be introduced to Blackout in the near future. Now, something I think worth mentioning is currently the weapons we're going to show in this video you can only get in Blackout. You cannot use them in multiplayer, so it'll be interesting to see if that changes and if you think they should be added to multiplayer or should just be kept as something special in Blackout. Do make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Something to be aware of with classic weapons is that you cannot equip any attachments to them. They just come as they are and you cannot change them in any way whatsoever. You can't use a scope such as a red dot sight or a 2x scope, which sometimes can make some of the classic guns that you can currently get in the game a little bit harder to aim with, as the iron sights aren't always great. You can't add attachments like stock, which would reduce the weapon's recoil, which might make you think that the weapon is a bit weaker compared to a fully kitted out Vapor, for example. But as you'll see as we get into the weapons, that is just not the case. So first things first, you'll probably want to know which classic weapons are currently available in Black Ops 4 Blackout. The two primaries are the Grav, which is actually the Galil from Black Ops 1, which I think to this day is still one of my favourite weapons in Call of Duty history, and then of course the Mp40, which you'll have seen in many Call of Duties over the years. It appeared last year in World at War, but in the Black Ops franchise it was in the campaign in the original Black Ops, along with zombies in Black Ops 1, 2 and 3, so it only makes sense for it to return for Black Ops 4 in Blackout. You then of course have the Raygun, which I think every Call of Duty fan will be well aware of for its zombie destroying powers, but it's definitely super fun to finally be able to use it in a multiplayer environment. So one of the biggest things I hope you'll be able to take away from this video is how to get your hands on these classic weapons. Now, the Mp40 and the Grav, or the Galil as I keep calling it, and I'm actually really interested to know why it's called the Grav in Black Ops 4 rather than just the Galil. So if you know, please do let me know down in the comments below. But those two weapons you can only receive from crates. You will not be able to find them on the ground like you do with any other weapon in Blackout. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's a crate that you find at a spawn location, such as the one below Fracking Tower or the underwater chest at cargo docks, or if it's a supply drop that you'll find during a match, or even if it's the mystery box that you can get your hands on at one of the zombie locations on the map after you manage to kill all the zombies at that location. And then you have the Raygun that you can get at one of the zombie locations, which can randomly drop from a zombie that you'll kill. So first up, let's talk about the Grav. It is without a doubt one of my favourite weapons to use in Blackout, which has helped me pick up a load of wins and absolutely shreds at medium to short range, as it's an assault rifle that uses 5.56 ammo. It's also got a pretty clean iron sight, so it isn't too hard to aim with, though if I'm honest, I always try to use it at those short to medium range distances and then use a sniper or DMR with a scope to switch over to if I ever get into a gunfight at a longer distance. The gun also doesn't really have that much recoil, so it's really easy to control and land those shots in intense situations. I think, as I've already said, the biggest struggle you're going to have with the Galil is landing shots at a distance, as with the muzzle flash, when you're shooting, you can't easily see what you're shooting at, so if someone's moving behind cover, it might be hard to pick up those kills. The Galil also has 35 bullets in a clip, which is pretty standard for an assault rifle with a fairly high rate of fire, but it just tears people apart at that short to medium range, and I genuinely feel that you'll beat every other assault rifle in the game in a fair fight using the Galil, though it is quite situational purely because you can't put any scopes on it. So if you want to get the Galil on a more regular basis and try pick up some wins with it like I already have, what you'll want to be doing is either targeting zombie locations right at the start of a match or the guaranteed crates at either fracking tower or cargo docks. You can also kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you're also wanting to get some character unlock mission items, as you've got a good chance of finding those items in the crates and mystery boxes that you'll get the grav in. So to increase your chance of getting kills with the grav, you'll want to be making sure you get as close to your opponents as possible, as you'll be unlikely to win gunfights on a regular basis against weapons like an Auger DMR or an ABR for example. So use perks like Dead Silence and Skulker to shorten those distances, and equipment like concussion grenades to get that extra edge. Because that is definitely one of the biggest disadvantages with these classic weapons in Blackout, is they can be very situational, because you lose all ability to customize them with attachments depending on the situation or what part of the map the circle ends up in. So overall, the grav is an absolutely ridiculous weapon that I would definitely recommend using if you can get your hands on it. Keep those gunfights to short to medium distance for the best results, and you can find it in any crate in the game from supply stashes to the mystery box. Next up, we have everyone's favorite SMG. I remember using this relentlessly back in Call of Duty World at War with Extended Mag and Juggernaut. Yes, I was one of those people, and easily was able to go on huge kill streaks because it was such a powerful gun. And that's something that hasn't changed with the MP40 in Blackout. It's still ridiculously powerful. It uses 9mm ammo, it's got 32 bullets in a clip, and has that fairly slow, powerful fire rate that you'll have come to expect from the MP40 from previous Call of Duty games. Something I've also found with the MP40 is it definitely seems to be a lot rarer compared to the grav, which I found quite surprising. Even if I'm constantly going for mystery boxes or supply stashes, I don't find it anywhere near as much, but that might be down to my personal experience. But it pairs perfectly with a long-range rifle like the SDM, so you can focus on taking enemies out at that medium to long-range distance with a scope with that SDM, but then when enemies get that little bit closer, you'll switch out to the MP40. Once again, the iron sight is pretty clean, and you've got pretty clear visibility when you're using it at its most effective ranges. You'll find it is incredibly difficult to pick up kills at a bit of a range with it, however. Well, not consistently anyway. You might get 1 or 2 every so often. It's got 32 bullets in a clip, as it's always had in every Call of Duty, without an extended mag, and once again, just like the grav, you cannot add any attachments to the weapon, so it comes as it is, which is in some ways pretty cool, as it instantly removes that stress you have with other weapons in the game on what attachment should I put on it to give me the best chance of winning. So in my personal opinion, the MP40 is definitely up there as one of the best SMGs that you can get your hands on in Blackout, such as the Spitfire, which is definitely the other one. So it's between those two, which one you should be using. Do make sure to let me know what your personal preference is down in the comments below. I'm kind of leaning towards the MP40, especially as the Spitfire is just about to get a nerf. I love it. It just feels awesome because it's one of those classic weapons that you've been using for years, and it just feels right. I also want to touch on the Raygun, which you can get your hands on from killing zombies at any zombies location on the map. Now, I know that the Raygun is super popular, especially within the zombies community. We've never been able to use it in multiplayer before, but if I'm being completely honest, in Blackout, it's pretty rubbish. Now, first of all, it's considered to be a pistol, so swapping over to it from using another primary is pretty quick. But I found it to be pretty inaccurate, which makes it really inconsistent to use. If you do land your shots, you'll be able to absolutely destroy someone pretty quickly, but otherwise you'll find yourself getting beat in most situations in Blackout. You also only get 20 shots, so I'd recommend just using it against the zombies to get yourself the mystery box quicker, though I found it cool to be able to actually use it in a multiplayer environment at long last. But in my personal opinion, unless you have to, I would avoid using the ray gun. You're not really going to get that many kills with it, or you'll just run out of ammo and be caught out. Just use weapons like the Grav, the MP40, the Rampart, the Spitfire, pretty much anything else. Just avoid the ray gun. So in Blackout, we currently have the Grav, MP40, and the Raygun as classic weapons. I'm sure we'll start getting more classic weapons being added to Blackout very soon, and I'd love to see guns like the Scar or Commando from Black Ops 1 being added, and would love to hear what weapon you would love to see added to the game down in the comments below. So there we have it. Those are the classic weapons that you can get your hands on in Black Ops 4 Blackout. Do make sure to let me know in the comments below which ones you've been using and if you've managed to pick up any wins, and what guns do you want to see added in the future. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe because I'm doing a lot more Blackout content right here on the channel, and also smash that like button and I'll see you next time.